This is Rebase.
So what do you do for a living? Oh yeah? How's that? These are questions you hear on a regular basis. And maybe you used to answer with excitement, with passion, with joy, but now you dread even answering the question. Well, I'm here to tell you this is not a show that's going to tell you how to quit your job and start a new company. Maybe that's not for everybody. It is, however, a show that will help you to rediscover your purpose, that passion, that joy, and that fulfillment in what it is you do. Or, if nothing else, you might figure out what it is you should be doing on a daily basis. This is Rebase. We're here to help you transform your career and change your life. What's up, Rebase Nation? Today, you're going to get a little taste of the wonderful career advice that we can provide to you here via a brief Rebase Dash. However, this one is not from me. It is your first ever Rebase Dash from my wonderful co-host, Elatia Abate. And in this Rebase Dash, we're going to go into networking for introverts and everyone else. Maybe you classify yourself as an introvert. Maybe you just don't like being around people for extended periods of time. We all get that. Elatia and I both actually identify as introverts in many ways. So in this very brief episode, she is going to go into 3 tips that will help you to truly network authentically and connect with people to help you out with one of the most important areas of your career. Networking is critical for moving your way up the corporate ladder or for just starting a new job or maybe starting your own business. So I appreciate that you've tuned in. And without further ado, here is Elatia Abate with this Rebase Dash on networking for the introvert and everyone else.
Greetings, everybody. This is Elatia. I am here with my first Rebase Dash, coming at you with a quick dose of the magic that we bring you, that Sean and I bring you on Rebase together, only this time in a shorter dose and just me flying solo. So what am I deciding to do? What topic is it that I'm going to go after this time around? And it's one that I get asked questions about all the time. It's one of the most critically important to creating success in your career, whether you want to build yourself and your life and your career up the corporate ladder, if you want to quit the corporate world and start your own business, whatever it is that you want to do, networking is the key to making it happen. So this episode is networking for introverts and everybody else. And why do I say it that way? First, because this notion that if I'm introverted, networking is somehow more challenging to me or needs to be more difficult is a totally false one. And what do I mean by that? So you might say, but I'm an introvert, so I'm more shy, so I'm more this. You may have some things to train yourself to overcome. And the secret sauce behind what I'm up to is that I'm actually an introvert by preference. I much prefer quieter spaces, as is Sean. I much prefer quieter spaces. I prefer smaller groups of people. I don't like to be out and about and crazy. That said, I've built a whole career on recruiting and fundraising. So I've trained that muscle up. So the first fallacy is that you need to be anything other than who you are in order to create this, right? So who do you need to be? How do you need to be in order to make this magic happen for you? And so I'm going to offer you 3 tips today about networking so that you can help your own self crush your own career, whatever it is that you decide that you're up to. And the first helpful tip is don't hide behind technology. So don't let the fact that you've sent somebody a message via LinkedIn, via text message, via something else be a substitute for an actual conversation with another human being. And some statistics that are out there, just for you to have an idea, right? Looking for a job, applying for a job online is somewhere around 5% effective in terms of success rate. Whereas actually speaking to another human being renders you an 85% success rate. So don't let the idea that just because you've sent somebody a message, don't let that substitute actual human contact, human interaction. The second piece is, before you get into an actual conversation with somebody else, practice. Do some role plays. I'm sure you've got friends, or at least one, or, like, I don't know, like a teddy bear or something. But practice having the conversation before you actually get there so that you can work out the kinks, so that you aren't feeling quite as nervous, so that you've got an idea of the kinds of questions that you want to ask. So I've actually embarked on a journey of networking. Well, I'm always networking. And in fact, I actually don't like to use networking. Networking seems very transactional to me. So I prefer to use community building, because that longer term sense of collaboration is what's really going to provide value for you and for other people as time moves on. And so this week, I'm doing a lot of work around the future of work, and I happened to come across an article where 16 economists were expounding their ideas around what the future of work is going to mean for all of us. And so I reached out to every single one of those people who contributed something to this article to say, hey, I'd love to learn something with you. I'd love to share with you what I'm up to. Would you have some time to talk? And of the 16 people so far, I have 6 people who have said, absolutely, let's talk. One who was a little bit weird, and the third one who was busy and looking forward to having a conversation another time. Now, I need to prepare for these conversations. So I don't know these folks, never spoken to them before. So I want to make sure that I have a list of questions that I want to ask when I'm there. What's the thing that I want to know the most inside of this conversation? And what do I think I can contribute? So you want to practice and you want to prepare. So then the third thing is this notion of curiosity, right? And this is really where networking for introverts and other people, because it's actually the same strategies for all of us. If you're afraid of networking, you can anchor into the natural curiosity that you have to learn about what's going on in other people's worlds, to observe the universe as it is, and use that to your advantage. So ask really good, powerful questions. It's that simple. And as soon as you've asked one, you're off to the races. Going to a networking kind of an event, you can ask something as simple. This is something that I use quite often. So what brings you here? So how in the heck did you get involved with this? Or so how the heck do you know the person who organized it? Or what makes this your Thursday evening plans as opposed to something else? It's that simple. So open-ended questions, being really curious, don't hide behind technology as tempting as it might be. And then of course, practicing. That's it. It's that simple. I want to see you out there creating your communities. And in the meantime, subscribe to us on all of the various amazing iTunes, Stitcher, all of the places. Looking forward to seeing you again soon. And join us on Rebase.
Thank you so much for tuning in to this Rebase Dash on networking for the introvert and for everyone else. In this episode, Elatia went into 3 solid tips for how to network authentically and effectively. And I hope that you take these and you will take at least one of them and practice it as you go out into your life. Networking doesn't have to be a 4-letter word, even though, we kind of described it as that in this episode. If you use these tips, you will crush your next networking event, or even when you're just out to dinner with friends. It doesn't have to be this artificial put on thing in order to be an effective networker. So I hope that you've enjoyed this episode. I hope that you apply these principles. Please share anything that you've learned. Share the episode. Describe it in your own words to people. If you want to share online, share our Facebook page, Rebase Show, or Instagram account, Rebase Show, or the website. That's http://rebase.show. And We can't wait to have you back for the next episode. Thanks again.